The Weather Authority local forecast right now.
From Montana's Weather Center, Montana Doppler radar is picking up a couple of snow flurries in southern Montana. We'll take a look at that. Right now, you get to check out the current temperature. 36 in Bozeman, 32 in Butte, 21 in Kalispell, 30 in Missoula. I've got more on the snow in just a few minutes here on ABC Montana's Local News at 10.
Right now on your mobile device, this is ABC Montana Local News at 10, where a new leader is emerging.
Yeah, just kind of frustrating.
Montana's jobless numbers drop, but it's not smooth sailing for everybody. Good evening and welcome to the ABC Montana News at 10. I'm David Winter. Angela has the night off. Well, tonight's big story, the latest unemployment numbers are out and they show Montana falls below the national jobless rate. On paper, most counties posted a decline in unemployment in 2014, but not everyone is cashing in. ABC Fox Montana's Parker Collins joins us now live in the Missoula newsroom to show us where you can find the most jobs and fewest jobs. Parker?
David, Fallon County actually topped Montana's list for the lowest unemployment rate at 1.7%. However, on the other side of the state, Lincoln County was actually at the bottom of the list, posting 11.5% jobless rate. However, this number is actually much improved. Over the course of 2014, it shrunk by about 4 percentage points. Danielle Ramos hasn't had a job in almost 4 years. She came to Montana because she has family here. While she's gotten an interview at several places, she hasn't managed to seal the deal.
Just kind of frustrating. Just depends on where you go, who's hiring, what kind of jobs you get around here.
Missoula County came in the middle of the pack, recording an unemployment rate of 4%. The Missoula Job Service has a database with 600 to 700 jobs. 3 industries, though, have led the way in terms of hiring.
There's a lot of activity in construction and in healthcare. Transportation is another one, and we're seeing an influx of a couple of companies that are looking for skilled trades.
That's good news for Ramos.
Montana's a nice state. There's always opportunities here.
Last month, Montana's jobless rate fell by 1/10 of a point, setting the statewide average at 4.2%. Going off the governor's numbers, more than 12,000 jobs were added to Montana in 2014. Back to you.
Well, we take a closer look at unemployment now. The rates vary greatly statewide. Fallon County came in at the best in the state, and we're going to go to some graphics right now so you can take a look at that in just a moment. Because when Fallon came in the best in the state, Richland came in number 2, and Sweetgrass came in number 3. All have unemployment rates under 2%. The state's largest counties all came in at 4% or better. Yellowstone ranks 9th, Gallatin ranks 12th, and Missoula ranks 28th. The 3 counties with the highest unemployment are Glacier at 54th, Sanders at 55th, and Lincoln at 56th. There you go. Those are the numbers. They all have rates over 10%. Lincoln County at the bottom of the list also showed the most improvement, though, from last year, with unemployment dropping from 15.5% down to 11.5%. Well, that number might be bouncing back up, though, as Revit Minerals last week announced that it will be shutting down operations at the Troy mine, putting about 80 people out of work. Well, Montana State University shares stories of financial hardship and student debt, but Governor Bullock may have an answer for them. ABC Fox Montana's Rachel Aragon joins us live from MSU for an in-depth look at the governor's proposal to freeze college tuitions and help students graduate debt-free. Rachel?
David, during today's visit, Governor Bullock made it very clear that his top priority this year for higher education was making sure college was still affordable for students. That's why he's proposed a 2-year college freeze on tuition in this year's budget proposal. Now, if approved, the proposal would require the state legislature to increase funding for the Montana University system by $44 million, the amount needed to halt current tuition rates for all in-staters for 2 more years. And while a tuition freeze extension may cost more money up front, the governor says it will ultimately pay off for thousands of families across the state.
And I think it's a very good investment to make in freezing college tuition, because when tuition increases, that's essentially a tax on 40,000 working families all across our state.
The Montana University system reports progress, with retention rate at four-year colleges spilling over 75% in the last decade and an increased number of awarded bachelor's degrees. Net tuition at Montana's four-year universities have remained the same, that is frozen for the past 8 of 10 years. And now Montana's two-year colleges have remained the same in terms of tuition for the past 10 years. Reporting live in Bozeman, I'm Rachel Aragon, ABC Fox, Montana.
Thanks, Rachel. The state legislature has until April 29th to approve the proposed two-year tuition freeze, which is part of the state budget, House Bill number 2. Well, 4 teens are found safe in Lewis and Clark County by the Sheriff's Department. The boys went missing last night from the Georgetown Lake area after authorities say one of the teens threatened suicide. Although first reports said that the boys might be headed to Idaho, they were actually staying in a parent's cabin near the Canyon Ferry Reservoir. Butte's Silverbow Dispatch confirms that they were located after 7 this evening, largely thanks to people calling in helpful tips. Well, the Missoula County Attorney's Office is following the rules for dealing with sexual assault cases. Almost 7 months of work led to Attorney General Tim Fox and Missoula County Attorney Kirsten Papp sharing the news today. Both leaders agreed to change and sign an agreement in June, ending the legal battle between the U.S. Department of Justice and the County Attorney's Office. As part of the promise, the Attorney's Office put together more than 300 pages of best practices for prosecuting sexual assault cases that can be used statewide. The investigation begins into 2 recent fires in northwestern Montana. According to state law enforcement, on January 18th, a structure in Olney was damaged by fire. Then 6 days later, a home in Eureka was destroyed by a fire. Friends of the victims say that the same man was living in both the Olney and Eureka residences when the fires occurred. Deputy Fire Marshal Don Drollinger says it's too early in the investigation to determine the cause of either fire. In tonight's Health Alert, the baby business is coming back to Providence St. Patrick Hospital. Construction is underway on a new OB unit at St. Patrick Hospital. St. Patrick officials say the new unit has been in the works for 6 to 8 months with their partner obstetricians at the Western Montana Clinic. The unit will feature a 7-bed labor delivery, recovery, and postpartum suite. Construction of the unit is scheduled to be complete in June of 2015. The first babies are expected to be delivered in the unit by August. Community Medical Center plans a new board of members to decide how the proceeds from the hospital sale are reinvested into the community. The Community Hospital Legacy Foundation already has 3 members but needs 6 more. This comes after CMC and its assets were sold to a for-profit partnership between Billings Clinic and Regional Care Hospital Partners. Anyone who is interested needs to submit a resume and letter of intent by February 16th. For a list of qualifications that the candidates must have, head to abcfoxmontana.com. And in Superior, red tape disappears. Mineral Regional Health Center spokesman Monty Turner says the clinic is now able to accept veteran choice cards, which allows service members to get care if they live far enough away from a VA hospital. Originally, Turner said they weren't going to be approved until April. Emergencies that might bring a vet to the Mineral County Hospital are already covered, even without a choice card. Well, coming up in sports, plenty of high school hoops games going on tonight, including the always entertaining Butte Central and Belgrade matchup. We'll have it all up next in sports.
ABC Montana Sports with Dominic Sheldon.
On the football field, Belgrade and Butte Central don't have much love for one another, and the same can be said when the 2 squads meet on the basketball court. The Maroons and Panthers met each other for a Class A matchup tonight in Belgrade. We pick things up at the end of the first half. Off a rebound, Kobe Ruff finds Baxter Royce. He throws down the 2-handed slam. Belgrade leads after the crowd gets into it. Seconds later, time running out, Danny Peoples to Chad Peterson. 3-ball goes down at the buzzer. Panthers still on top, though. Second half now, Ruff finds Morgan Edel down low. Jumper's good. He's been doing that all year. In the fourth, Peoples to Marcus Ferreter. He just turns and pops, no problem. Central still down by double digits. Finally, Panthers put it away. Kelvin Lamb can't connect on the three, gets his own board, finishes with a layup. Panthers win it 45-36. Like the boys, the girls from Butte Central and Belgrade met at the Panther Pit tonight. First quarter opening minutes, Belgrade's Alexis Klinging-Smith with the drive to the left, splits the D and finishes. Panthers up. Next possession, Kendall Bethke from 12 feet out hits the mid-range jumper. They go up by 6. Butte Central would not back down though. Olivia Bolton starts from the outside, goes in, finishes in traffic. Lady Maroons still hanging in there. Still in the first, Chloe Thatcher from the corner drives in, lowers her shoulder a bit, gets the bucket. Lady Maroons take their first lead of the game. More from Central on the run. They find Bolton cutting to the hoop, this time from the right side. Layup's good. Butte Central wins this one 43-36. Some girls hoops in Missoula. Ronan and Loyola. Ronan came out of the gates running. That's Lee Camel with a mid-range jumper. Ronan up early. Then it's another Camel. This time it's Alicia. She finishes off the spin move. Nicely done there. They go up by a few points. Loyola would start to make a bit of a run until Olivia Round finds Michaela Schneider. That cuts it to 5 points for Ronan up. More from the Breakers. Taylor Short finishes from near the bucket to make it a 3-point game. But Ronan just a little bit too much. Off the inbounds, Camel once again finds herself open, gets the 3. Maidens win it by 19. Some Class C boys hoops. Valley Christian hosting Drummond. And right off the tip, Valley Christian gets it to Parker Smith. He finishes the easy bucket as Eagles go on the board first. Later, Valley down by 3. Brad Klein gets the jumper, makes it a 1-point game. In the very next possession for the Trojans, Danny Mannix drives and gets the difficult bucket. Drummond up by 3 once again. Then Drummond turning a little defense into offense. Joseph Park blocks a shot, and then Mark Estes finishes with the lay-in. Drummond wins a close one, 75-69. Class A Hamilton playing Class AA Missoula Big Sky. Hamilton leading early on. Colin Bingham in the post puts the first points on the board for the Eagles. That puts them within 5. And then Casey Ryder down low puts the Bronx up by 7 on the other side of the court. Later, it's Sean Kemp who gets the bucket for Hamilton. Bronx only up 2 though, 15-13. Big Sky responds. Dacton Schatz from the corner. Eagles go up by 4 points. Later, it's Big Sky's Alex Simmons on the drive. Difficult finish, but that puts the lead at 1 at that point. They pull away though in the second half, winning 68-48. The Helena High boys in Missoula to take on Sentinel. Down big after the first half, Sentinel clawed back through the deep ball. That's Mitch Reynolds on the 3, and they weren't done yet. Mitch Roberts looking for an open player on the top of the arc. He drives and finds Sam Bagley. He nails the 3, but Helena goes back to their advantage inside. Chase Benson with the low post points. Solidifies that lead a little bit more, but why not more from the outside for the Spartans? Freshman Bagley, another 3, and it's within single digits. But Helena goes to their bread and butter. Henry Garrett with the points. Bengals win it 47-39. Now to Helena, where the Lady Bengals hosted the Sentinel Spartans. We pick things up in the third quarter. Shanna Flerschinger taking it all the way with a bit of a hook shot there. Left-handed finish ties things up at 33. Final seconds of the third we go now. Jordan Schwain finds Kylie Froelich on the cut for 2, and we're tied at 39. In the fourth quarter now, Haley Crawford taking it up. Nicely done to the bucket. Splits the defense to give Helena the 2-point lead. But later, it's Shannon Worcester firing it up the court to Haley Rogers for the bucket. Sentinel hangs on to win a very tight one, 47-45. And coming up a little later in the show, once again, Marshawn Lynch is stealing the media spotlight by saying much less than everyone else. But for now, we go back to the desk with David.
All right, thanks, Tom. Well, Montana's legislature was busy today. We'll tell you what your lawmakers were up to coming up next.
You're watching ABC Montana, local news at 10, where a new leader is emerging.
State game wardens in Gallatin County may soon be able to cite people for driving under the influence. The FWP is currently working with county commissioners on an agreement that is expected to be settled next month. This comes following a report on ways to improve DUI enforcement in the county. Prior to the wardens in the county being able to write citations, they would need to be certified in field sobriety tests. Today in the 64th legislative session, gun laws kept the House Judiciary Committee busy. A proposed gun bill would prohibit enforcement of some federal weapons bans. Opponents argue the bill poses a problem when it comes to enforcement because it interferes with federal and local officials working together. Supporters of the bill argue that the state can make its own laws despite the federal government. The committee heard another bill that proposed the use of sound reduction devices for guns when hunting wildlife that are not protected by the state or federal government. Well, happening tonight across the country and around the world, we have some answers tonight regarding the grim discovery last September of a family of 5 found dead in their Utah home. Police are calling the horrible incident a murder-suicide. They released autopsy results today that showed drug toxicity caused the deaths of the 2 parents and their 3 children. Police say Benjamin and Christy Strack killed 2 and possibly 3 of their children before committing suicide. Relatives say the Stracks believed an apocalypse was coming and had been preoccupied with, quote, evil in the world.
Christy Strack, the mother of the 3 children, was on the east side of the master bed. She too was covered with a blanket pulled up around her neck. Benjamin Strack, the father of the 3 children, was on top of the covers in the middle of the master bed between Christy and son Zion. He had one arm and one leg partially draped over his wife.
The family members were discovered in one room by their 18-year-old son, who is now the only living member of the immediate family. Well, planes are once again flying tonight in and out of New York's LaGuardia Airport after a winter storm yesterday virtually shut down a great deal of the East Coast through this morning. Spirit Airlines became the first major carrier to land its plane at LaGuardia today. The airport stopped air traffic Monday ahead of Tuesday's winter storm. The storm spared much of New York and New Jersey, though, instead hitting New England hard. Travel bans in New York have been lifted. New York's other airports, JFK and Newark, continued some of their flight activity during the inclement weather. And not so inclement around here.
No, warmer than normal out there, but we do have a little bit of winter weather to show you right now on Montana Doppler radar. It's going to stay mostly to the south there, but Butte and Bozeman could see a few flakes of snow. And I'm back with your forecast coming up next.
Dave Cochran is here to help plan your day. ABC Montana's The Weather Authority.
Good evening from the ABC Montana Weather Center. Well, we've got some activity on Montana Doppler radar. I think West Yellowstone's going to be the big winner here. Probably Big Sky and Bridger Bowl will pick up a little bit of this snowfall too. Bozeman's going to probably see mostly rain but a few snowflakes. Butte could pick up a little bit of snow. And we're not talking about big accumulations in town or anything, as most of this appears to be turning towards the east right now. But we also have the winter weather advisory that basically goes up through Salmon on 93 right here to Lost Trail Pass. That's where we could see the accumulation of a little bit of ice. I've been watching Lost Trail Pass pretty much all night to see if we could catch some snowflakes or ice. Right now, we're not catching much on the camera right now. The biggest problem remains what we've seen all week, the melting of some of the snow during the day and then the refreezing of some of the ice along the roadways. Here's a look at highs today. Made it up to 29 in Kalispell, 37 in Missoula, 44 in Bozeman, 50 in Butte. Set a record in Dillon today. The high today was 55 degrees. As far as current temperatures out there, looks like we've got 19 in Kalispell, 30 in Missoula, 34 in Bozeman, 32 in Butte, 43 in Dillon. As we look down on the U.S. by way of satellite, big push of moisture coming up through parts of Nevada and Idaho. But really, you can see it's kind of making a bit of a turn heading on over to Wyoming. Big whirlpool of clouds out there in the Pacific, a good area of low pressure out there that we'll be keeping an eye on too. So as far as snowfall, the 5-day snowfall model is showing it mostly here in Wyoming, parts of southern Idaho and southern Montana. So really not expecting a ton of snow out of this, but when we put the model into motion and we start to see Friday, Saturday, more snow could be moving into Montana. I don't think it's going to be a ton of snow or anything, but you might get a little bit of fresh powder on some of the ski slopes around Montana. As far as temperatures, we're not going to be quite as warm as we've been over the next few days, with daytime highs cooling back into the 30s and lower 40s. Take a break to the 7-day forecasts next.
right now on your mobile device. This is ABC Montana Local News at 10.
All right, well, here's a nice story for you tonight. A Bozeman couple is rolling into the hearts of children around the world. Wayne Hansen, along with his wife Leanne, created Reach Out and Care Wheels several years back, and they've been on a mission to provide children around the world with an easy-to-use wheelchair ever since. Along with the chair being equipped to go off-road, it's also highly adjustable for the perfect fit. With the recent funding from the GM40 family, Rock Wheels has a busy couple of months ahead with a trip to Mexico where a team of 14 will distribute rocket chairs, and then a stop in Argentina with 100 chairs going there. It's estimated that 70 million people in developing countries need wheelchairs, with over 6 million of them being kids. All right, so how about $1,000 a day for life?
Okay.
Would you still be working here? Okay. You know, you're just going to have to, you know, work at it like everybody else does.
Okay.
You've got to go play a new game. The new Montana Lottery is starting a new game tonight. The first new game since it hopped on board with Mega Millions back in 2010. Lucky for Life follows a standard match and win format. What makes this game different is in the name. Well, all you do is get that top prize, and it's a chance to win $1,000 a day for life. The second prize is a chance to win $25,000 a year for life. Montana is one of 14 states to launch the new game, and the first drawing will take place on Thursday, January 20th at 8:35 p.m. And by the way, I just wanted to tell you, I think I've got the statistics here. It's 1 in 30 million.
Okay.
To win $1,000 a day for life.
I spent a lot of time dreaming about what I would buy if I won the lottery, but I never actually purchased lottery tickets, so my chances
Well, then you're never
are
going to win.
even worse than the 30 million to 1 odds.
Okay, I'm going to get you a ticket.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll find out. Also, very neat tonight. It's not quite $1,000 a day, but many of you will probably appreciate this. Marshawn Lynch with the Seattle Seahawks has become a fan favorite and seen his level of fame go up dramatically this season, in large part to his decision to not talk to the media. You've likely seen some clips with him answering every reporter's question with the exact same answer, and after being threatened by the NFL to be fined upwards of $500,000 if he didn't participate in this morning's media day, this is how he responded.
Ask me all the questions y'all want to. I'm going to answer with the same answer, so y'all can shoot if y'all please. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined.
So he's nothing if not consistent, to say the least, and certainly going to be an exciting game. But all the talk of all the characters that are at Media Day and all the sound bites that could be had, that is the most talked about one.
You know, and he's not saying a word. And he's making a lot more than $1,000 a day for life.
He's doing okay. He's doing okay.
What a grumpster. Well, hey, thanks very much for joining us. Have a great evening.
Grumps.